Daf Yomi, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 79a, top of the page, with the words V'haya ba kadei lehamis alibo. And the blow was powerful enough to kill him, were it to land on his chest over his heart. V'halcha la al masnav, v'lo haya ba kadei lehamis al masnav ameis pater. And instead, the blow landed on his loins. Ouch. And it was not powerful enough to kill him when it landed on his loins. And nevertheless, the victim died. The assailant is exempt. Although the assailant intended to kill the victim, the blow was not powerful enough to kill. Ostensibly, his death was not a result of the blow. Niskavenako says Agadoil. V'lo hoya ba kedei lahamis Agadoil v'rochelo ala koton. V'hoya ba kedei lahamis es akoton v'meis pato niskavenako es akoton hoya ba kedei lahamis es akoton v'halcha lo ala gadol v'lo hoya ba kedei lahamis es akoton v'meis pato. If one intended to kill an adult, and the blow was not powerful enough to kill the adult, and instead the blow landed on a minor, and the blow was powerful enough to kill the minor, and the minor died, the assailant is exempt. If one intended to kill a minor, and the blow was powerful enough to kill a minor, and the blow landed on an adult, and the blow was not powerful enough to kill the adult, and nevertheless the adult died, the assailant is exempt. Alvan eskaven nakois al masnav v'hayaba kedei lahamis al masnav v'holchala libo v'meis chayov eskaven nakois es agadol v'hayaba kedei lahamis es agadol v'holcha lo es akatan v'meis chayov. Rabbi Shimon omer אפילו נזכר הארץ הזה, זה פטור. But if one intended to strike another on his loins, and the blow was powerful enough to kill him, were it to land on his loins, and instead the blow landed on his chest over his heart, and he died, the assailant is liable, since, in any event, his intent was to kill the victim, and the blow was powerful enough to kill him wherever it struck him. If one intended to strike an adult, and the blow was powerful enough to kill the adult, and the blow landed on a minor, and he died, the assailant is liable. Rabbi Shimon says, even if one intended to kill this one, and he killed that one, although he would be liable for killing either, he is exempt because one is executed only if his action completely corresponded with his intent. The Talmud says, Gemara, the Talmud says, Rabbi Shimon Ahaya Ilema Seifa Rabbi Shimon Poter Bibayler. The Gemara asks, with regard to which clause of the Mishnah does Rabbi Shimon disagree? If we say that he disagrees with the latter clause of the Mishnah concerning one who intended to kill an adult and killed a minor, the Mishnah should have employed the formulation. Rabbi Shimon exempts him, not the extended statement of even if one intended to kill this one and kill that one, he's exempt. Ela reisha niskavana haragas behema, haragas adam, lenachli v'haragas Yisrael, lenefali v'haragas es ben mekayama pater, haniskavana rog es ze, v'haragas ze chayav. Rabbi Shimon omer, afilu niskavana rog es ze, v'haragas ze pater. Rather, he disagrees with the first clause of the Mishnah, which states, if one intended to kill an animal and he killed a person, or he intended to kill, kill a Nachri, and he killed a Yisrael, or if he intended to kill a non-viable newborns and he killed a viable person, the assailant is exempt from execution, and from which it may be inferred. But if one intended to kill this one, and he killed that one, the assailant is liable. Rabbi Shimon disagrees and says, even if one intended to kill this one and killed that one, he's exempt. Pshita Koy Reuven v'Shimon v'Omar Ana leReuven ka mechavna leShimon lo ka mechavna Haynu pluktayu Amar lechabi nayu mai Inami kasav Reuven v'nimtza Shimon mai Tashema detan Rabbi Shimon omer Ad Shimon ploni ani miskaven. The Gemara comments, if Reuven and Shimon were standing, and before throwing the stone or shooting the arrow, the assailant said, I intend to kill Reuven. I do not intend to kill Shimon. It is obvious that this is the dispute between rabbis from Shimon. The assailant said, I intend to kill one of them. And he did not specify whether it is Reuven or Shimon. What is the halacha? Alternatively, in the case where he intended to kill one whom he thought was Reuven, and he killed him, and he was found to be Shimon, what's the ruling? The Gemara suggests coming here a resolution of this matter, as it is taught in Bright that Rabbi Shimon says he is not liable until he says, I intend to kill so-and-so, and then he kills him. My time that was Shimon. My time with Rabbi Shimon. My time with Rabbi Shimon. My time with Rabbi Shimon. The Gemara seeks to clarify the rationale underlying the opinions of the rabbis, Rabbi Shimon, and asks, what is the reason for the opinion of Rabbi Shimon? Amad Kro, V'Rav Levi Kaimelav, V'Kamelav, Ajit Kavanov, Rabbanan Amri, T'Be Rabbi Yanai, Prat Lezorek Even Lagoy. Lego. Rabbi, the verse states, but there will be a man who hates his neighbor, and he lies in wait for him, and rises up against him. This strikes him mortally, and he dies. Deuteronomy 19:11. Based on the repeated use of the pronouns in the verse that he lies in wait for him and rises up against him, Rosh Hashanah derives that one is not liable to be executed until he intends to kill specifically him, the actual victim. The Gemara asks the rabbis, what do they derive from the repetitive pronouns in that phrase? The Gemara answers, the sages of the school of Yanai say that one derives, this is to the exclusion of one who casts a stone into the midst of a group of people, and one of them is killed. Since he did not intend to kill any specific person, he is not executed. Hechidami. What are the circumstances? Right? Typically, the Gemara asks, what are the circumstances if we say that it is a case where there are 9 Noachim and 1 Yehudi among them? There is no need for a derivation. Derive that he is exempt from the fact that there are a majority of Noachim, and based on that majority, the probability is that it will strike a Noachim. Now, again, a disclaimer: I don't necessarily advocate all the opinions stated here. Just reading the Talmud, just the facts, man. Alternatively, if the group of people comprises half Noachim and half Yehudi, the principle is that the ruling in the case of uncertainty with regards to the case of capital law is to be lenient, and therefore the one who threw the stone will be exempt from punishment. Lo itzricha. The Gemara explains, no, it is necessary to have this derivation only in the case the Ika Tisha Yisrael v'Leichad, ביניהם דאבי לגוי קבוע, וכל קבוע כמחצה מחצה דמי. כל קבוע כמחצה על מחצה דמי. Seems to be a pretty prevalent. כל קבוע כמחצה על מחצה דמי. The Gemara explains, no, it is necessary to have this derivation only in the case where there are 9 Yechodim and 1 Nochli among them, and this is the case where the Nochli is fixed, is a fixed presence in the group, and the principle is the legal status of any item fixed in its place is like that of an uncertainty that is equally balanced. Any item that is fixed in a place is like that of an uncertainty that is equally balanced, and one does not follow the majority. This is what the rabbis write in the phrase, and he lies in wait for him. Okay, Bishlam Bonon. Tamis Kavanah Chayev. תכתיב בחינת אנשים ולא כשהוא אבל lazim במצווה במצות שבמצווה כזה מדבר תכתיב ועשה נהיה ונוסעת נפש תחת nefesh. Gemara asks, granted, according to the rabbis who say that if one intended to kill this individual and he killed that individual, he's liable. There is support for their opinion from that which is written. If men struggle and they hurt a pregnant woman so that her child departs from her, and there is no tragedy, he shall be punished as the husband of the woman shall impose upon him, and he shall give the judge as the judge is determined. Exodus 21:22. It can be inferred from the verse that there is a tragedy. If the woman dies, there is no payment of restitution. And Rabbi Elazar says, is regard to a quarrel that involves the intent of each to cause the death of the other that the verse is speaking, as it is written. But if there shall be a tragedy, then you shall give a life for a life. Exodus 21:23. This is proof that in a case where one intended to kill one individual and he killed a pregnant woman instead, he is liable to be executed, which is why he does not pay restitution. Ela la Rabbi Shimon hay v'nasat nefesh takas nafesh mayavid le mamon. Chid Rabbi Tanya Rabbi Omer nasat nefesh takas nafesh mamoin yat omer mamoin oy eino ela nefesh bamish. According to Rabbi Shimon, this verse, then, you shall give a life for a life. What does he do with it? According to his opinion, the party to the quarrel is exempt from the punishment of execution in this case. The one answer is, according to Rabbi Shimon, a life for a life is not referring to execution. Rather, the reference is to monetary restitution, and this understanding is according to the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, as is taught in Bright. Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi says that the phrase, then you shall give a life for a life, does not mean execution, but rather monetary restitution for the life that he took. Do you say that it means monetary restitution, or does it mean only the taking of an actual life? Based on the language employed in the verse, it can be determined that the reference is to monetary payment. In these verses, a term of giving is stated below, and you shall give a life for a life. Exodus 21:23. And additionally, a term is stated of giving above. He shall be punished. Giving above, it shall be punished as the husband of the woman shall impose upon him, and he shall give as judges determine. As Exodus 21:22, just as there in the phrase gives, we're in the top of 79b right now. Give as the judge determined, the reference is to monetary restitution, So to hear in the phrase, give a life for life, the reference is to monetary restitution.